When a flash flood is coming, you get minutes of warning or none at all, just a deceptive calm before the chaos, especially in remote areas, where you're on your own. No sirens and no alerts, just the sound of rushing water, a roar that means it's already too late. A flash flood isn't just a lot of water. It's water with terrifying speed and power. It's a sudden, violent surge of fast-moving water that forms within minutes of intense rainfall. Unlike normal floods, which build slowly over hours or even days, flash floods don't give you time to prepare. They simply arrive. They happen when the ground can't absorb the rain fast enough, whether it's saturated soil or paved city streets. So the water has nowhere to go except forward. It races downhill, through streets, through canyons, through anything in its path. And here's what makes it even more dangerous. The rain that causes it might not even be where you are. A storm miles away can send water rushing toward you, channeled by the landscape itself, without a single drop falling above your head. So one moment, everything looks normal. And the next, you're standing in the path of a flood you never saw coming. But rain alone isn't the only problem. Sometimes the ground itself makes things worse. In dry regions, like deserts, the soil becomes hard and compact, almost like concrete. So when rain hits, it doesn't soak in at all. It spreads fast and starts to build. And then there's the landscape itself. Mountains, hills, and narrow canyons. These don't just collect water, they focus it. They turn scattered rain into a fast-moving surge, like a funnel pointing straight at you. But one of the most dangerous triggers is something most people never think about. Wildfires. After a fire, the ground changes. It becomes water-resistant. So even light rain can create powerful, fast-moving floods filled with mud, rocks, and debris. And then, there's the most terrifying cause of all. The rain that causes the flood might not even be where you are. A storm miles away can send water rushing towards you with no warning and no visible signs. So when you combine all of this, intense rain, hard ground, steep terrain, and hidden water flow, you get something sudden, powerful, and incredibly dangerous. In natural landscapes, dry creek beds and channels suddenly fill. Narrow walls force the flow to rise rapidly, creating a terrifying wall of water. It's the combination of speed and force, not just depth, that makes these events so destructive. In cities, the problem is amplified. Concrete and asphalt create vast impermeable surfaces, turning streets into man-made rivers. The existing infrastructure, gutters, culverts, and drains, is quickly overwhelmed and chokes fast. Gravity takes over, and the water races downhill, seeking the lowest point. It funnels through natural canyons, surges through storm drains, and rushes down your street, carrying debris and danger with it. This is the anatomy of a flash flood. It's a powerful, fast-moving force of nature that can transform a familiar landscape in an instant. When a flash flood strikes, survival isn't a matter of luck or brute strength. It comes down to a series of critical, often split-second decisions. The people who make it through these terrifying events almost always have one thing in common. They made the right choice before the situation became impossible. They understood that the most important battle is won not against the water, but against indecision and denial. They don't underestimate the power of moving water. It's a common and often fatal mistake. A mere 6 inches of fast-moving water can knock an adult off their feet. Just a foot of it can sweep a car away. These aren't abstract statistics. They are the unforgiving laws of physics that govern these events. What looks like a simple flooded road is a powerful, unpredictable force, hiding unknown depths and carrying unseen debris. So they turn around. They heed the warnings, both official and instinctual. Instead of risking a crossing, they choose the only safe option, finding an alternate route or waiting it out on high ground. Your vehicle offers a false sense of security. In a flood, it can quickly become a trap, its weight meaningless against the relentless current. If they're on foot, they immediately move to higher ground. They don't wait to see how high the water will get, because by then, escape routes may already be cut off. They get out of low-lying areas, away from rivers and streams, putting as much elevation as possible between them and the rising threat. Every foot of height gained is a buffer against the flood's peak. And most importantly, they act early. Hesitation is the enemy. The window to escape a flash flood can close in an instant. Survival is proactive, not reactive. It's about anticipating the worst-case scenario and moving before it arrives. Because once the water comes, once its true force is unleashed, the time for choices is over. It's already too late to decide. What makes flash floods truly terrifying? Is that this isn't rare? It's happening all over the world. In Waverly, Tennessee, homes were ripped from their foundations, cars carried away like toys, and families had minutes, sometimes seconds, to escape. In Derna, Libya, after a powerful storm in 2023, dams failed, and an entire wall of water rushed through the city, wiping out entire neighborhoods in minutes. And in places like Zhengzhou, flash floods turned city streets into rivers, subways filled with water, trapping people underground, with nowhere to go. Different countries, different environments, but the same pattern. Fast water, no warning, no time. And that's what makes flash floods so deadly. Not just the force, but how suddenly everything changes. Flash floods are one of nature's most deadly phenomena, a terrifying display of raw power that can transform a landscape in an instant. Their danger isn't because they're rare, it's because the threat often begins in deceptive tranquility, miles away from where the deluge will strike. The defining characteristic is their speed. A gentle stream can become a raging torrent in mere minutes, a wall of water moving faster than you can run. They are brutally unpredictable. A familiar road can become an invisible trap, the depth and current of the water impossible to judge until it's too late. And the scariest part, it's that most people never see them coming, caught completely unaware by a danger that was gathering just out of sight. Our world is filled with breathtaking beauty, but it also conceals places of extreme danger, where one wrong step can be your last. If you want to understand these treacherous terrains and learn to read the subtle signs the wild provides, and if you want to uncover the hidden dangers that could save your life, from predicting a flash flood to knowing the critical mistake most people make in a crisis, then you're in the right place. This knowledge is your most essential gear. Subscribe now and arm yourself with the skills to face the unexpected. You never know when a normal day might turn into a fight for survival. Because the next video we release might just be the one that keeps you alive. You get minutes, or none at all.